Okay, hello and welcome to today's session. Just let me know if the sound quality is all right. I am at a different location with a different screen at the moment. So a couple of things might be a little different. So just let me know if you can hear me okay and you can see the screen okay. The balance we're starting off at today is $25,388 thereabouts. Going for the $26,500 total, and basically what we're looking for is a couple of trades on the DAX around the open if we can see them. What I'll go through today in this session is a bit of an analysis using the pivot points and the order flow as usual, along with the multiple time frame Bollinger Band price positioning. So we're about $388 up. It's day 7 of the Apex Trader Funding Challenge, 25k. And what we'll be looking for today is, hopefully we'll just end the day positive. That's probably the most important thing from my perspective, is that we end the day positive, take a little snippet out of the market because of that drawdown, the end of day drawdown that Apex Trader Funding provides, or enforces, I should say. And we've got about 14 minutes till the market opens. So let's dive in, do some analysis, and figure out what we're going to be looking for during the session today. So over here on the CFD charts, I've got the pivot points for today. We're sitting a little lower. As you can see at the 4 o'clock mark, or an hour before the actual open, we had a really strong push up, kind of off this Bollinger Band. We were heading towards that S3 point. So what we're looking for, I guess, is hopefully a bit of a drop before the market opens, away from this level, the breakout short. The target will likely be this close price up here. And if we sort of pull back away and then rally towards this close gap, that's kind of the price action I'll be looking for. What's probably going to happen is we may not pull back, we'll just go straight to that close gap. And on the flip side, if we do have a bearish day, the market could just pull away from this breakout short. So we're basically looking at all avenues, all kind of scenarios that we might come to face, and building a bit of a picture on these pivot points. So again, no set strategy. We're looking at the market with an objective viewpoint where we ascertain where the market is right now comparative to the pivot points. We're also looking at, obviously, the order flow to confirm the buyers and sellers in the market, who's actively trading, who's passively trading. And we're building a bigger picture overall to see where the market should land. Again, we're not always going to be right. This isn't a professional trading channel. This is just me sharing my experience, going through the evaluation to get funded with Apex Trader Funding. I do have an account to give away, any size, any platform on Apex Trader Funding. So get active in the comments, guys, if you do want that free account. So on the face of it, I've shared the pivot point outline. I'll go through now and explore the multiple time frame analysis. The monthly, basically what I do, I flick through the different time frames and see if there's anything of value that I can use to my advantage. So I can't really see anything on the monthly. The weekly, we've had 2 down weeks in a row. That may indicate that we'll continue going down, or perhaps we might sort of there'll be buyers coming in at this level to take advantage of that lower price. So nothing really of value there. We'll go the daily. It's been very bearish. We've had a couple of sort of days where we haven't gotten lower. So potentially this is a bit of a low, unless we do break below this support here. So it's something to watch is if we do get below this S3, the market may continue lower. On the H4, we've really rejected off this low pre-market, so it's unfortunate that happened before the market opened. If that sort of price action happens in 10 minutes time, it would be quite a gift for us. As you can see on the 4 hour, the Bollinger Bands are quite outside the S3, so unlikely we're going to get an interaction with that Bollinger Band around the open. On the H1, if we do come down and touch the S3, the H1, or the 1 hour I should say, the Bollinger Band low could act as an extra kind of rejection there as well. So if the market comes right down, spikes off this S3, we've got another piece of information, being the Bollinger Bands, to indicate that we're maybe going longer from that point. On the M30, we passed through it. If we do get down to even just the S2, we'll break that. M15, it's quite strange. But yeah, the M15 is actually lower, so at the S3 we'd have to get to for us to get any indication there. Yeah, thanks. It works quite well for the timing. The NQ, it moves around quite rapidly. The DAX, I feel like it's a bit slower, so you can kind of escape some of the hot water you can get into on the Nasdaq and the other US futures. So the DAX is often very tight spread, buyers and sellers either side. It moves quite rapidly, but it also reacts quite well to a lot of the pivot points. Sometimes those US indices, I should say, they don't always respect the levels as closely as the DAX does, in my opinion. So we're kind of bouncing off this pivot point. We've got 9 minutes till open, so we'll keep assessing the Bollinger Band setups. But if we get down to the S3, we're pretty well confirmed on a number of levels for the Bollinger Band to turn us back long. And we've got the 5 minute as well. So it's the 5 minute, we've got to get down to the S3 to turn around. Hi, thanks for joining. Much appreciated. And we've got 8 minutes till the open, so I'll continue going through the analysis. Kind of rejecting off this level. Ideally, we'll pull back from this area. So we've also got the 24,000 big round number. We've been hanging around this, as we saw on the daily, for some time. So probably the last 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 days, we've been hanging around this 24 big round number. It's just good to be aware of it. It's not necessarily going to reject off it too much, but we saw here in the pre-market that was the turning point. So it's just good to be aware that it exists before we get into the actual market. 7 minutes till open. We're pulling back from this confluence here, so we've got the breakout short and the S1. If we can pull back, a decent amount, that's going to help us have a better risk-reward ratio if we aim for the close gap. Again, none of this is financial advice, guys. It's just me having a go at the Apex Trader Funding Challenge. So I do appreciate you guys coming to watch and being a part of this journey with me. And as I mentioned, I do have a free Apex Trader Funding account to give away towards the end of the session after trading's done. So we're pulling back. This is quite good. Now, what I mentioned was I do use the order flow to identify when things are potentially turning in line with the pivot points as well. So there's a bit of a combo going on. I'm looking for indications that the market's going to go my way. What we can see here, so this would be on this wick, I believe. We'll just zoom out a little. Yeah. So these are bid orders. Now, what this tells me, the way it's kind of laid out, is these are limit orders, and they're stronger limit orders, so people getting out of their shorts or buying at their limit price. And on this side, we can see that 32824, it's growing in comparison to the bid side. So we've got limit orders followed by aggressive buying, and that pushed the market up. So it's little things like this. It's taught in Trader Dale's book. I do have a link in the description, but it's little things like this that help build a picture that you don't get to see just by looking at these CFD charts. So a lot of retail traders, they're almost flying blind. So if you're doing well on retail only, or like MT5, that kind of thing, adding in the order flow can help you, I guess, avoid false indications of going long or short, and it can probably help guide you as to when it's time to get out as well. So you've got, I guess, a data-backed analysis of where people are really buying and really selling. The futures are also a centralized database. So these are real orders coming in and out of the market all through one place, whereas with the CFDs, it's generally broker specific. So if you have one broker in, say, Africa, and then you have another broker in, say, China, those two markets or those two brokers will have different order flow information on their CFD platforms because their clients are doing different things. So that's the great thing about futures, is you're seeing a centralized all in one place of all orders that pass through that exchange. So it's very helpful information to be able to see where, in particular, where the big orders are coming through. So for example, when you get 13 or like 12, 13 again, when you get those bigger orders, it's bigger players moving the market, and that's what you need to look out for. And you don't get any of this over here on the CFD charts. So it's just something to be aware of. To trade the FDAX with Apex, I did have to get the Eurex upgrade. And that also gives me the level 2 data so that I can see where the limit orders are for an area. It helps me build this order flow analysis and volume profile as well. And just having a look at that volume profile, it's very happy trading at this 24,000 mark. A lot of orders at this 24,000 big round number area. So what I'll be looking for, it's quite thin from here and up. So I'll be looking for a reason to get long. If I do see it, I'm going to probably have to act quite quickly, because at the open, I do expect that the market may move quickly long. What I am hoping for on the flip side, though, is that we do pull back a little bit to take us in and have less of a stop loss requirement. If I got in, the stop loss, I'm not sure where it would go, because my ideal stop loss would be below this S3 level, because we've got so many things, such as the Bollinger Bands on multiple time frames, as well as the level itself, to hopefully pull it back the other way. Going long from here, if I put a stop here, there's every chance it'll go down there and turn back around. So we'll have to kind of play it by ear with this one, depending on what the market does at the open, which is in less than 2 minutes, coming up to 1 minute till the open. We've got 12 here, which may be aggressive buying, I would say. We'll just see. Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to get into a trade that just goes south on me, and then I'll get out and it'll probably turn around, because I do expect it to go long, but I can't just, yeah. But much better to wait. So we've got, in about 40 seconds, we'll open. Hi Trek Lord, thanks for joining. Thank you guys for getting active in the chat. It's great to see you guys being a part of this experience. Now we can see there's 16, 13, 8. That looks bullish to me. We've got potentially some of the limit orders back here, I would hope, unless that's aggressive selling, but it wasn't enough to push it down. So I'm going to bet that that was a limit order. I'm hoping for a bit of a push down. 3 seconds till open. We're open. That's what we're looking for. I'm in long, but we may come back further. So I'll get out quite quickly if it doesn't pan out. I'm going to get out. Oh, I missed it. I might just get out there. Okay. I missed the high on that. See if I can. Oh yeah, $30. So I missed that, but I'm just watching the market here. Sorry, guys. I'm tempted to get in, but I've got to watch the order flow for an indication to take me long. I've got that gut feeling. See, there's 21. That's probably enough to have a go. So that 21 I'm hoping is a limit order. I'm just going to take that if I can. Okay, that's a bit better. So $90 now. We're just having some trouble getting through this breakout short and S1. I think once it does, it's just going to disappear. But that 20 and 20, there's a lot of orders going in at that level. So there's no clear, decisive direction. Why not exit with sell market? I'm not sure what you mean by that, because I got in long twice. Oh, why not? Okay, sorry, I get you. So why not just close it? The issue with closing, obviously sometimes it works, but the way this order flow works, if I get in here and then I, for example, hit sell, it's going to take the market side over this side. So I'm losing whatever that spread is to ensure that I get in right then and there. I'm losing that sort of, I guess, 2 or 3 pips or 2 or 3 price movements, which I don't want to do. So when I hit market, if I hit market now, for example, as a buy, that would put me in up here instead of getting in down at the lower price, if that makes sense. So whereas a limit order that I place on this depth of market, and I hope it gets hit because it often does, it just buys me an extra 2 or 3 points depending on the spread. And if I hit the market order and there's no liquidity there, it might be way down here, it'll fill me all the way back down where the nearest order is, instead of where somebody's happy to trade on the other side. I don't know if that was super clear, but basically using the market orders loses you 2 or 3 points every entry on each way. So like you get in, you're down about 2 or 3. You get out, that's a total of about 6 price movements on this ticker chart here, which builds up very quickly if you're getting in and out of a lot of trades. So the market is kind of just buzzing around in between these levels, just waiting for some sort of indication that something else is going to happen. I've made $90 today. It's only been 4 minutes, so that's quite good. But I'm just waiting for an actual indication to get in. Yeah, so when I use this depth of market and I click on the bid side, I'm placing a bid side limit order, and same for the sell side. I did start out a while ago, or several years ago now, trying to just use the market order because I thought, that should give you a pretty good fill. But if you're trading every day and you're only looking for small movements like I am, it really hurts your bottom line. And then you've got fees on top of that, I believe, depending on the platform. So for example, I think Rhythmic adds fees to each trade. Looks like we're going to break through here potentially, unless that's limit side like selling, but it looks fairly aggressive. Just trying to figure out what this action is here. Okay, so what that is, there's a lot more ask side orders that sort of built up. That tells me that it's probably limit orders for buyers, so they're closing out their buy positions or entering a sell based on a limit order. So the asks, this red order flow isn't always a buyer. When it's at the top of a movement, often that's people exiting their buy positions. So I'm just going to be patient here. Unless we get a really good spike in a particular direction, or the order flow says, okay, this is the bottom or a top. I don't care about the top because I do want to go long. I don't want to go short on this one. Could be limit orders, Not 100% sure though. That could be aggressive selling up higher. So it's just about building a picture, trying to get a feel for what's going on in the minds of the traders on the other side of this computer. 14, that could be aggressive buying there. Do I take it? Sees a lot bigger numbers pushing the market higher, and then these are probably the 9 and 7, I would say, are limit orders to buy, or people exiting their sell. So I'm just trying to figure out what direction the market's going to go. If we get a lot bigger of an order down here, I'd much rather that before I get in. Because if we do break down below here, my stops would have to be well below this S2 to feel safe. And that's not really worthwhile, given that we've probably got a top at the breakout short. So that's the issue with the way these pivot points have scattered today, is the distance between where we are, our potential target, and the likely stops. You've got to be super accurate. Get in and out quite quickly, otherwise you're going to be running the risk of sitting in a trade that you can't get out of, or you don't want to get out of. You know it's going to go in a certain direction, but it's going to clean you out before you head in that direction. So that's the trouble, I guess, with the Apex Trader Funding drawdown. It's pushing a little lower. Here we go. This is the kind of activity that I was concerned about happening, but perhaps it's not going to hold. And we're just waiting to see what the market gives us. Staying calm, staying patient, waiting for the data to tell us it's time. Now, obviously with the pivot points, you can't do that. There we go. So it's pushed right down. I'm tempted to get long if I see some sort of movement. There's a bit of price activity here. If we can push a little lower. Okay, I'm in for one contract, but who knows what's going to happen here. There's a lot of movement going on. I don't want to stay in it for too long, but there's a lot of order stuff going on. Yeah, there's 15 and 20. It's a lot more than what we've seen up higher in a very short space of time. So we're getting close to that S3. We did bounce off at this level earlier, but it looks like the market may want to come down and actually touch this S3. And that's okay. That's us. I think I'm going to get long if I can. It's missed me. Okay, it's taken me in. So I'm in 2 contracts long. The reason I got long was because there was a heap of red side orders or ask side orders. I'm hoping that's aggressive buying, followed by some, hopefully this would have been limit orders down here on the bid side. Hopefully this holds. And I'll just have to wait this one out for a little bit, see if it works or not. One thing I've got to remember is I do have 2 contracts in the market at the moment. So I'm going to change my quantity in the depth of market to 2 so that I don't actually accidentally just get out of part of my position. I want to get out of the whole thing in one go. I've got to have my platform ready to act on my decisions when it counts most. Now I am concerned that the market will just ignore all of these levels, the Bollinger Bands, everything, because it can happen. And that's part of trading is being able to, I guess, jump out when you know it's when you know it's done. It's moving quite heavily now. So we really need the sellers to, the buyers to take hold. Otherwise, I'm going to have to exit the position. It looks like the sellers have really gripped on here. What I'd like to see is either a really big limit order on this side to say, okay, the big players are happy with that price as low as it's going to go. They're buying it. It's not quite happening for me. And followed by a lot of ask side orders pushing the market higher. Okay. So it's 18 ask side orders. 19, that it's really moving against me. Bit of activity here, that's good. See if it holds. It's really falling. I'm just going to have to close it here if it doesn't turn around. this is the kind of activity we'd be hoping to see, but whether it turns around from that massive action, I'm not sure. We're still falling. This could just be a fake out, so it's pushed higher, soaking up people who think, maybe that is the bottom. And it may just continue falling. Obviously, I'm still long for 2 contracts, but we've got a long way to get right back up to where we were. So it's a classic example of, I guess, not sticking to the plan 100%. I trusted my instincts, but it hasn't paid off just yet. I will wait this trade out. I do think it will hopefully get up towards this close gap. But on the flip side, there's every chance that this market may just continue falling out of nowhere. Exactly. So it's really important to, I guess, work on your ability to stay cool in situations like that, to listen to the data and what it's telling you, and be able to act on that data. So I'm not sure what the right thing to do. I think ultimately I probably should have just exited the position at some point, but I'm not really sure where, because once we're outside of these levels, I get a bit confused. What I'm seeing at the moment is obviously there's quite a bit of green or bid side orders. I'm hoping these were limits followed by some aggressive buying, and now we're kind of getting taken back up to where the market is happy to trade based on this volume profile. So I'm hoping to get back up to these levels this trading session. It may sort of form a new happy area to trade, as I can see by the volume profile poking out much more, whereas between this point and this point it's very thin. So if we do push back higher, I think it should be quite easy for the market to get back up to this 24,000 average kind of pricing. Did any of you get in? Have you guys had any trades for today? Just while we're watching what this market does. On the grander scheme of it, this is a lot of aggressive selling, but there was quite a bit of buying there, aggressive buying as well. So it's almost like there was a price point they wanted to fill, and they pushed the market way out, took out a heap of stops before hopefully taking the market back to where everyone wants it to be. Nice. That's a very good asset, particularly at the moment. So I'm kind of stuck in this trade. It's not an ideal situation. I'm hoping it's going to push much higher and come back into the normal trading area. However, time and time again, I have seen the market just pull right away from these levels. So for the most part, the levels are respected quite a bit in conjunction with the order flow. But then every now and then, the market just falls to bits. Now that could be a limit order. It's either very aggressive buying or a big limit order that's going to push the market lower again. So it's about figuring out what that is based on the next sort of order flow, because that's a big order at this price here. Now there wasn't much around this area, so perhaps this 19 limit followed by this 44. Yeah, perhaps that was selling. We'll see what happens here anyway. It seems to be falling a lot quicker than what it's going up. So if we have a look at the daily, obviously the momentum is very bearish. Same with the 4 hour, very, very bearish. So yeah, obviously look at your bigger time frames. I'm hoping this is all buying and it's going to push the market right back up. It's just scaring the weak hands. But of course, the opposite can always be true. So we'll see how we pan out. ZRG TV, were you here yesterday? It's really hovering at these levels. If we can get a lot more buying come in, hopefully it'll be okay. Otherwise, it's a very long grind from here. Yeah, no, you're right, Treklord. I probably should have had my stops in place, knowing the nature of the DAX. When it does fall, it falls very fast. Yeah, it was a quick session yesterday. Actually, I didn't hang around. I took my, I think it was $80 and left. The market actually went higher yesterday than I was thinking it was going to. So, and I was taking shorts yesterday, so that worked out quite well. I find when trading with the trend, I find it really hard to find a position to get in safely from a mental point of view. Because I always think that, for example, the market is going to stay and kind of bounce within its normal realms. But as we can see, like today, it's just gone right through where I expected the market to hang around. One thing I find as well is being patient and waiting for the market to go in your favor. For example, if I had have held, I think about 3 or 4 of my trades last week, they all went in the direction I expected. But again, it's being able to take that drawdown. So if you've, for example, if you have a big account and you don't have these end of day drawdown issues like with Apex, you can kind of hang on a lot longer and eventually it'll go in your direction potentially. But with these tight drawdowns, you kind of get squeezed out of the market very quickly. So because I'm out of these levels as well, don't really have any indication from here what's likely to happen. And also I do know that we're outside the Bollinger Bands on multiple time frames now. Not the daily, but right up to 4 hour, we're outside the lower Bollinger Band. So we'll see how it pans out. I'm really just waiting and hoping this trade goes in my favor at this point. Anyone there who hasn't already got an account, one of those free coupons that I've been giving out, if you're there in the chat, feel free to jump in and let me know if you want your free account. All you do is just email me, and I'll give you the code. It's just very much a waiting game at the moment. It's either going to fall out and just continue much lower, or we're going to recover and hopefully get right back up to this close gap at some point. I've got a long way just to get to break even though. Exactly, yeah. No, you're completely right, Treklord. I call it very well. Excellent analyst, but not the best executioner in the heat of the moment. So, for example, if I had have just gotten out of this trade at sort of $100 loss, I could have been back in the market when I saw this kind of action here, the 19 and the 11. Would have copped some heat again, but it did turn around quite nicely and probably would have gotten out somewhere around this level and probably would have left it at that point. So completely agree. I've got to learn to exit my positions a lot quicker because of the style of trading that I do. Because I do get out of my trades quickly as well when they're going in my favour, which also is not the best way to go. So if I can flip the way I enter and exit, hold my winners and get out of my losers, I'll be doing a lot better. It's really just waiting for this market to build some momentum long. Hopefully, hopefully we'll break past this level here with the 44 contracts. It was very bearish movement. Very light order flow in this period. It's kind of meandering around quite a bit. Obviously, we've got some traders that are probably scared of going into this 44. If we get another big order here, it could mean that was a limit order. Again, it's 13.10. I'm not sure what the market's saying with this kind of activity here, because sure, it's going up, then the market kind of just pushes back. So with a big order like that, if it was buying, I would hope that the market would push up a lot faster, because there's so much, thin volume up ahead. This kind of activity should really just power the market up if it was buying. Perhaps I just need to be a little bit more patient. But it tells me that could be limit selling. So we'll see what happens. And that's the other thing with getting into positions like this and not getting out on time, is you've got to sit there and wait. If it does work, it really takes a long time to sort of get into gear to take you back to where you need to go. We'll see how it pans out. We really need a strong push to get out of this this volume profile that we're sitting in. So this happy kind of period here, it's really got to power through. concern I have is that it's soaking up some more buyers before it goes shorter, like before it takes us short again. So it's just lulling people into a false sense of that the market's going up before it takes us heavily short once again. Let me know in the comments, guys, what would you do in this situation? There's a lot of ask side activity here, but it's just not moving the needle. Just waiting for a big push. Really unsure as to what to do here. Caught in a bit of a troubling position, I guess. As Treklord said, should have got out quite quickly because of the bearish nature of the market. And if we did break through this S3, I've got no determining factor as to when to actually get out. So we'll see if this can push higher. You're probably right, Treklord. I've got a fair way to go to actually get to where I need to go just to break even. Do you mean this next 15-minute candle? This one here? Because if it does go higher, then I'm probably going to hang in there. But if it does break short, then I have to exit. Otherwise I can't come back tomorrow. Get out on the purple level. Yep. We'll see how we go. It's pulling back. We're kind of at the low of this volume profile, so I'm hoping this is a good build up for people to start getting long from. Hopefully it holds. Because I'm seeing a lot of ask side activity comparatively to the bid side, which is the aggressive sellers. So I'm hoping that there is a bit more buying going on. What I do need to actually get is the delta. So knowing the total bid and total ask of each candle would be really helpful to be able to make a decision. It's looking pretty thin there, which isn't good. I think it may just fall right out here. Yeah. Love to see a really big limit order somewhere around here to push us back and tell us we're going to go the other way. But when you get activity like this, it's such a bearish candle. Maybe something's happened in the market that I'm not aware of. of buying. It might sort of be a fake indication that we're going long. It's a very volatile year, very hard to predict as well. Really need a bit more conviction with the buyers. Otherwise, this might just drift off lower for the rest of the day. 14, if that's a limit, that could be positive. If that's aggressive selling, we're in some serious trouble. That's painting a better picture. I've got a few more ask side orders. That'll make me a lot happier. Again, probably a limit, a couple more contracts on this price here. But we need to see some more action on this side to take it further. I'm going to put my limit order to exit this position just below the low. About 1,030 loss. So I right clicked on the ask side because I'm in on the bid, so I'm in long. So right clicking on the depth of market puts in my stop. I don't want to be sort of emotionally fatigued if the market does sort of peel away very quickly, which could happen quite easily at this price level. But at the same time, I don't want to get out just here in case the market does hold off this limit order and then some more ask activity. So I've really got to get out if it doesn't turn my way because of the drawdowns, the way the drawdowns work. I'll come back and have another go tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully this is the low, but I'm not overly confident the way this order flow is kind of making out. $19, that's it looks like it's building, but we'll just have to wait and see. It might just be soaking up buyers to be able to then short the market even heavier. It's a bit more activity all of a sudden on the 38th minute of the open. Just have to wait and see what happens. I think this might be where the market just pulls away and we'll get filled on the downside here. Unless some serious buyers can come in. I think I just have to take the hit. $27 contracts, 28, 29, 30. Okay. Looks like it's really just absorbing all these buyers, and somebody's got a really big short position going on. We're sitting on yesterday's S1 at this level. I'm not sure if that really means anything or not, but I have seen from time to time that the previous day's levels do play a bit of a part. But it's not the best indication for anything in particular. And if we break below here, we're just about done. So we've got another 5 minutes before this candle closes on the 15-minute mark. It may soak up a few more stops a little bit lower, hopefully avoid us. But it's very close. We've got 11 contracts there on the limit order. Hopefully, it could be aggressive selling, somebody just really pushing it lower. But I'm hoping that's a limit buy, followed by some aggressive buying on the ask side. If it doesn't pan out though, we're pretty much out of the market. Anyway, guys, I might leave it at that. Obviously, you can watch the market. I'm going to keep this limit order in position. I may or may not get filled. Obviously, if it gets to this price, I'm out. If it goes all the way back higher towards that close gap, okay, it filled me. So $1,000 loss, or 950 loss for today. Quite a big hit. But we'll be back again tomorrow. We'll see if we can recover. I really hope this doesn't now turn around. I hope it does continue lower. Bit of a disappointing trading day, but we'll see if we can recover tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk soon.